Good morning, everybody. JT back in the studio with you here. Studio 10-4 live and the morning drive. It is Wednesday, April the 8th, 2026, and we have another morning show for you and plenty to talk about. We got a lot of going on in our world, man. I'll tell you what, yesterday was kind of like make it or break it for us. I'm hoping, with things that were done yesterday, we start seeing some fuel prices drop down and get under $5 a gallon out here at least. I mean, criminy, there's diesel anywhere of $6 and more dollars a gallon, even here in Southern Oregon, and that's just unheard of. California is even worse. So I mean, I'd hate to be down there buying diesel. In fact, I wanted to take my pickup down to the show coming up in a couple of weeks there, the Silva show that we're going to be at, and I'm not. I'm going to take car, and but now, like I said, hopefully, with this deal in the works, maybe prices will come down. And honestly, you know what? This should have never been affected our way. We have our own fuel. What's the deal anyway? I don't know. I think they're screwing us again. So, what are you going to do? Anyway, hey, everybody. How the hell are you? Still kind of got a little bit of a Matt's hangover going and seeing a lot of stuff going on. Hearing a lot of stuff, good stuff, but just a lot. There's so much going on. In fact, I'm going to bring Brandon in our studio. Brandon, what's going on? Good morning, buddy.
Hey, how's it going, John? Good to see you.
Good, man. Second cup of coffee. Can you tell?
Yeah. Right. Maybe that's my problem. I need to start drinking coffee. That's one step I've never taken in my trucker life. I don't know how I could ever be a trucker without coffee. I just never took that plunge.
I was on again, off again. Now I'm on again. When I stopped, though, I was drinking a lot of diet DPWNS, Diet Pepsi with NutraSweet became my replacement, and no joke. And then I took the deep dive into Dr. Pepper. And honestly, here's the laugher. I don't even drink soda now. I don't, not at all. A little bit of squirt, but usually that's thinned out with some tequila. So
tequila, never. I don't believe that.
never happened. Yeah, right. But it is a delicious grapefruit spritz of deliciousness. So anyway, I usually only drink one cup of coffee too, but this morning show thing, I get a little more revved up and get two down, and
gotta get amped up for it.
You gotta get wound up. The morning drive, we gotta pump it up, get everybody fired up, get down the road, grab your hit the throttle, mash that gas. Let's go. Where the hell is everybody? Anyways, man, we got some people tuning in out there. I hope everybody's doing all right, and I hope everybody had a nice Easter too, by the way. And do you have any Easter traditions that you do with your family, your girl, anybody? What do you guys do over there?
Well, being in the Amish community, Easter's not really a big thing here. I mean,
how do they do that? Or they don't?
Yeah, so they don't. What is it? Ascension Day. I can think about Ascension Day. They have different wording for it. That they celebrate it differently than what we do. I know they're kind of like into Good Friday, but I don't really know. That's one part of their religion I've never understood about, some of their holidays and stuff like that. But we do the typical, normal Easter egg hunt, make a meal type thing, and just do the typical Sunday afternoon deal. I think a lot of families do.
I mean, truth be told, what I know about the Amish is probably, enough I could fit on a Post-it note, if that. They make great furniture, super work ethic, super community to help one another, raise barns and houses together. And right. I mean, that's probably where, and they ride, they get around in horse-drawn buggies. So that's about it for me.
The other thing they're great at too, and I will tell you, this is something that most people do not know about them, and they are experts at it. They can get the word out quicker than a telephone can, man. If you want somebody to know something or want the whole community to know it, tell an Amish person. The whole community will know it for anybody. They are great communicators. They're better than social media. So We use that a lot around here. If we can get the word out about something, we just tell an Amish person, and it's gone like wildfire.
Well, you're never looking for signal. You just, be able to yell loud enough, somebody's going to hear you.
Yeah. I don't know how they do it, man. But like, you tell one guy, and it's like they don't have a telephone, they don't have a car, but somehow the next day, the entire community knows the whole story. Like, it's unreal.
Oh, well, there you go. There's somebody in there that's the get around, or the spread the word around person, and then from there it just goes like wildfire. I love to post a friend of mine. She posted up on Facebook. It said before social media, how we used to unfriend people, and it had a picture of her and her girlfriends, and she'd torn their heads off of their pictures in the photograph.
Well, what's funny is there was actually a Civil War image that just came up, and somebody, and who knows what it was, apparently one of their, we call them pards, so probably one of their cohorts or whatever that they were in battle with, they got their image struck together, and at some point you could see where they took a sharp object and they just completely dug the person's picture out of a tintype next to them and scratched them out. And it's like, yeah, that's the original unfriending way right there, like scratch them out of the tintypes.
Funny. By the way, everybody, in case you haven't noticed yet, and I hope you have, and you're wondering why or what, but our go-to Google guy, memory guy, Matt, is out today, and he's dealing with some issues that he needs to get taken care of, so he'll feel better, and we wish him the best, that he does feel better. I don't, nothing serious that we know of, just right now, he's not feeling his best and 100%, so he's getting looked at, and we'll get him back next week. Randy, good morning. What's going on, buddy? I was wondering when somebody was going to pop in and say howdy. By the way, howdy, everybody. If you haven't dropped in and said good morning, do so. Love to know where you're at, who you are. And I know, because I got people I can see that are watching. I just don't know who you are yet. Until you guys make a comment, I won't know that you're there. But anyway, and also we're supposed to have Gary Jones in here and get a little feedback from this year's show in Louisville, and talk about some other stuff, how that new truck of his is doing. And he's not here, so he must be grinding out there too, man. Randy, yeah, I know you are, buddy. Congrats again, Randy. You and your guys built a beauty, and I say hats off. Well, hats off to you, and you guys did great, man. That truck's making the rounds on social media. It's something else that came up. I saw a post, and this is in the age of where we're at now in social media. Social media has just it's done so many different things. Is there too much now that we are all considered content creators? Because you choose that title now in Meta, and everybody's a content creator. So everybody's out there, and everybody that's got a phone has a camera and a connection to the internet and a connection to TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, X, Threads. I mean, it's like, okay, is there too much? I mean, and that's what this guy's post was. It was alluding to the fact that, okay, I've seen this same truck, 50,000 times now. And I get where he's coming from, but what is it? What do you do? It is what it is, right? I mean,
look at it like this. I mean, some of these trucks, I don't care if I see it 50,000 times, because every time I look at it, I'm still drooling,
okay.
Some of it, I mean, yeah, I understand some. It's a little overwhelming when you see the same truck, over and over again in your feed. But to me, it's cool, that people have that ability to kind of go out and share the things that they see and witness. That's where it's kind of cool now. Like, I don't know if you've noticed, one of the cool things I think about is like, so weather, tornadoes now. We're probably getting some of the best videos of tornadoes that you've ever seen, because everybody has a camera now. Everybody can film whenever this stuff happens. And I've found that real interesting. I've seen a lot of them where I'm like, man, you're freaking crazy. I don't think I'd be standing out there right now. But
I've watched guys live streaming as, it's like, okay, let's do this, and like, you're an idiot.
Yeah. Like, the house is getting blown apart next door. Let's go out in the front yard and film that. That seems like a great idea. But never mind the debris flying through the air.
I've seen
But
one, a guy live stream. They were in a shopping mall, strip mall or something somewhere, and stuff's just coming apart everywhere, man. And the front, facade of the store, which is glass and glass, swing doors, and it's like, dude, you better get the hell out of there, and or better yet, here comes the hurricane and all the water, and it's all coming in, and you're watching this going, okay, that's when you gotta go. Oh, somebody put the phone. Somebody take this away from me.
yeah,
Can't
yeah.
stop.
Yeah, I need a break right now. That's for sure. But it's interesting. I mean, to a sense, it's kind of sad because we lose some of our innocence along the way, and it's certain things aren't as mysterious now,
Oh no.
in certain ways. But it is really cool to see what some of the people's experiences are. You always hear that guy, who maybe went through a tornado and he's like, man, it was crazy and all this crazy things happen. And then you're like, well, I wonder what that was like. Well, now since they're all filming it, you can experience it. You can pretty much see what the guy went through.
Yeah. Well, it's like I said, we've evolved where, and somebody posted yesterday a big long dissertation from, I think his name was Tom, the guy that invented MySpace, who really was kind of the pioneering, guy behind social media and what it was, what it started out as pretty much, and how he disagrees with everything that's going on now. It was pretty funny. I mean, but right on too at the same time. And I remember those days. I was a MySpacer. I mean, we're going back to 2004, 5, 6.
2004, 5, yep, yep.
You know, and then Facebook comes out, and you're like, "Whoa, what's this thing?" And
It
that,
makes you wonder what's next. What's
well,
next?
I mean, they're all fighting amongst each other. I mean, competitively. I mean, you got X and Threads. Okay, so that's Meta's version of X or Twitter, whatever you want to call it. The artist formerly known as is Threads, and Meta, Facebook has Instagram and Facebook. There's TikTok and then there's other stuff that's out there. Of course, YouTube, Google has experimented through the ages and the years, and they've brought stuff in, and then they've just said, you know what, we're going to stay in our lane, and they've done a good job of that. I mean, with Google and Chrome and YouTube. So, but look, everybody, all you guys out there have such a view into the world and the ability to capture it. It's awesome that you do that. I no fault, no wrong. It just there's just a lot of it going on, and we're all trying to do our thing out there. I'm glad I'm not just doing a sweep walk around. Look at this, it's cool. We separate ourselves a little bit from some of the crowd by doing what we do at the shows and talking to the people out there and doing the walk around with them at their truck, and so it's a little bit different, but hey, there's some cool stuff out there, man. These guys that have got a really good eye and a great way of capturing what they see and how they present it. I enjoy watching it. It's there's a lot of good stuff out there, but again, especially after this last show, man, oh man, it's like, okay, here's another view, another look, another, it's like kept coming, still coming. There's still new ones coming out. And then there's the post-production guys, that are doing all their stuff. Tons of post-production stuff coming out there. So, I don't know. It's, I wonder if there's ever going to be a point where it just becomes like, okay, get a, shot and we're done. And the rest is left to people like ourselves and others out there that are doing what we do to be that, capture that. I don't know.
I would think. I mean, I think there is such a thing as content overload. That you're right to a certain extent. Some of the stuff is. I mean, it's wild how much you do see it. But I mean, remember the days, when truck shows. I can remember long before, there was really any social media people. Chris and you. I mean, 10-4 magazine. You were kind of the original pioneers of I mean, when you think about it, you guys were the original content creators,
We
and
captured the live stream thing. Chris still is.
yeah,
Chris is a super,
yeah,
super good post-production guy, man. And he does a great job on the live stuff too out there. But we do it differently. Each of us do, he and I. But yeah, we were there at the forefront of it and leveraging it as soon as, Meta, then just Facebook, said, hey, we're going to give you guys the keys to the farm. Here it is. Go have fun. I'm like, yeah, let's do this. And
yeah,
here,
and now everybody's, like you said, everybody's a content creator, and it is amazing, how that did change overnight. But there's so many people now, when you think about it, that I can remember when you would see somebody walking around with a camera, it's like, there was so far and few between people, and it's like, man, they're getting an interview, something's going on. Now there's cameras just everywhere. I mean, there's constantly one in a truck or somewhere at these shows. So,
well, I'll take you back to early 2000s, late 90s, 10-4 magazine is publishing a magazine monthly. We still are. And we've got all these featured stories, including, of course, the cover feature. And as somebody is in that position, either featured in the magazine or on the cover or whatever the case may be, back in those days, it was like, okay, where can I get the magazine? I want to see what I want to see. And you're like, oh man, it's not out yet, and right.
I can remember going into chrome shops and truck stops out on the road, and you're like, man, did the latest 10-4 come out? You're looking for it.
Yeah.
And you'd be like, oh crap, it hasn't came out yet or whatever, and it's like, that was like a hunt. You had to go hunt for that content because it was the only way you could get it, it didn't exist anywhere else. And
right.
Those are some fond memories.
Well, and then when, eventually, websites were coming of age and that was starting to take over and you could, start searching online for things. Then you start looking that direction as well. But the magazine was it, man. I mean, that was where you found out what was going on and who was doing what and where and when and all that. Hey, what's going on?
All the advertisements, everything.
Yeah, all of it. You know what? I'll tell you something, man. When I was a kid, when I was a little kid, I read some Boys Life. Okay, I gotta fess up. I did read some Boys Life. I don't know why I had a subscription to Boys Life. Anyway, I did. But my magazine was Hot Rod Magazine. What was the motorcycle magazine that I read?
Easy Rider?
No. It was another one. There was another public. I was more mainstream than the Easy Rider.
I see. Yeah.
I can't remember which one it was, but Hot Rod, Carcraft. Anyway, those were the magazines that I read. And I was in there as much for the advertisements as I was for the stories, because the advertisements were telling me what people have in the way of choices that they can put into their cars and make them go fast, make them look cool, all that stuff, right?
Yep. And well, remember, I'm sure you remember being a kid, and it was, what did you do before Christmas? You had to get into the Sears catalog and look through the Sears catalog, to see what they had, because, I can remember that was always our thing as kids, is, man, you had to flip through that Sears catalog to see what was in there, because we may not have been to the store, or, that's where you looked up your Christmas gifts.
So here, you're going to love this one, man. How I remember this, I don't know, but I do. So Sears catalog, I think it was Sears catalog, or Monkey Ward, whatever it was. I don't know at the time, man.
Yeah.
And there's no more Montgomery Ward. That's long gone.
Long gone. Yeah.
Montgomery Ward. What was the other one that was anyway, there was another store. So this is where Matt's supposed to help me, man. Matt, buddy, miss you. Anyway, I had the magazine and I'm looking at it, and I'm a little kid. I wasn't even probably 8 years old or less. Anyway, and they had the picture of this kid wearing a backpack with a propeller. It was a propeller that came out of the backpack, and you're supposed to put that on, turn it on, you can fly, right? And I'm like, Dad, I need this. I got to get this for me. He's looking at me going, yeah, right. Okay.
Yeah, right.
I'm going to fly around, man. It's going to be so fun, Oh, shoot, dude. That's so hilarious to me. Anyway,
yeah.
Look, y'all know you had your whatever moment and I just admitted it openly here, and I'm sure you guys all had yours. So, yeah. What was that one thing you needed your dad to get you, and you thought you had to have it, right?
When I was a kid, it was a mini tractor. I wanted a mini tractor in the worst way. And one of the neighbors got one for their kids, and I'm sure the thing was expensive because it was a really nice one. And, of course, I'm watching the neighbor kid, and he's out there running around. It was like, man, that's what I wanted in the worst way. Instead of getting that, I got an old broke down lawnmower. So I guess that's close enough.
You know what, man? The some of the coolest things, and I still have some of them to this day, which is amazing, are some of the toy equipment trucks and things that I got, along the way when I was a little kid. But I loved all that stuff, man. I mean, I never got any of the ride-on toys except for, probably a tricycle when I was that age to ride a tricycle, and then a bicycle like that. But man, when the cool stuff that was happening, like big wheels and stuff, I didn't ride a big wheel until I was an adult. I don't know about you, man, but I don't know where we got them, but my buddies and I, whoever had the longest, steepest driveway, man, it was like, let's hit it with a big wheel, and away we went. Oh, geez.
I had the big wheel. One of my most favorite things that I had growing up was I had the Bigfoot, like the original Bigfoot monster truck, Power Wheels. And in my mind, that truck would go through anything, and I can remember being a kid, we had a ditch behind our house, and I was always convinced because I'd be inside watching Bigfoot, run around the track, and I would think, man, I can do that with mine, so I'd end up in the ditch with the thing buried and stuck, all the time. But in my mind, that thing was great. We were getting around with that.
I never had the big wheel, but somewhere along the ways we got one and had our way with it. But all those kinds of toys that some kids got, I mean, battery powered trucks that you could ride in, or stuff like that. Never had it, man. But wow. Yeah, I mean, a lot of that stuff there wasn't even around. I mean, till
your time it probably wasn't nearly as common as it was in my era.
Yeah, right. Yeah, we were still like Flintstones, foot pedaling our shit.
Did you guys even have batteries then?
No, man. I'm not sure. I don't think we did. That's probably why we didn't have the cool toys, right? I don't think so. Hey, I'm gonna reach out to our buddy here and see if he's coming in, or if he's awake, or what's going on. And he's on the road. I know that. And I know that he may have gotten involved because he was getting loaded like 2 hours ago, and maybe it ran long.
With Gary, you never know. He could be getting loaded, he could be cruising. I mean, he's on the go, that's for sure.
Yep. Well, and I get it. You got to work, man. By the way, everybody in the queue that's said good morning back to you, and glad to have everybody on, and appreciate you taking the time to jump in and give us a little love. Just talking about whatever comes to mind at this point.
That's a scary thing, John. We should probably get on topic, because boy, where our minds go, we could really get into some interesting conversations on
what was the topic? I don't remember. What was the topic?
The big wheel. You were talking about the big wheel, Power Wheels.
Big wheel, man. That's all. Well, that's over and done. What was funny is afterwards we got in trouble because we flattened the wheels on them. They flat spotted because they were hard plastic. And we'd take them. We're spinning down the driveway on asphalt down, with these things. They weren't meant to do that with adults on them, anyways, or teenagers, as it were. I mean, I don't think so. I don't know. Anyway, some of the stuff we did talk about and have been talking about, there's going to be some evolution along the way here. I think we're going to find out what that is as it happens, and stuff got real in our world with the social media capabilities when they started putting these guys in front of Congress, and they're getting questions. Hey, look who's in here, man. All right. I'm not even going to talk anymore. I'm just going to bring him in and see what he's got going on. What's going on, buddy?
Hold on, guys.
Oh, hey.
Set up here.
Let me get a disclaimer out there. Don't try this at home. Gary is a professional.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, we got you, buddy.
All right, I can't hear you.
You can't? Oh, shoot.
Hold on a second. Let me see.
Here, I'll use sign language or.
Oh, you're in my headset, so I'm gonna have to look like I'm gonna have to Swift it, guys.
Oh,
there you are.
Oh, there you go.
There we go.
What's up there, Swifty?
How you guys doing?
Good morning.
I am trucking, man. I've got a super load on. I'm coming south through Minneapolis. I actually forgot, and I didn't get stopped, so we're just gonna have to do it on the fly.
That's all right, buddy. That's all right, man.
Hands-free. Everybody safety first, as always.
Hey, this is in real life right here, buddy. This is as real as it gets right now, man.
Yeah, live action coming to you live.
That's right. We're grossing about 100,000 pounds. I got a propane tank on, and I am headed south back into Missouri out of Minnesota.
So are they're going to keep it a propane tank or make it into a smoker?
Yeah, right. I moved so many damn tanks anymore. How you been, Brandon?
I'm good, buddy. How have you been?
Good. Just got done with Louisville. It was a full week as always. Tired.
Yeah, truck's looking good, buddy.
Well, you guys got something in common. You both built a truck, the week before the show, and I mean, nothing like waiting until the last second. But that's just how it rolls, right?
That's exactly right.
Gary had way more fun though, because man, watching him with the freaking scraper and the heat gun, that man, dude, my hat is off to you, buddy. If there is one thing I hate, it's scraping vinyl off, and you definitely, I think you win the award, man.
It was rough. I'm not gonna lie. We did all that, and I had that truck from the day I picked it up at Rissler, and I continued to work, so I could only work on it the weekends. And I had that truck 22 days. I was sitting in Louisville with the way it looked. So we did a lot of work,
buddy.
I appreciate it, man. It came along long ways. Trucks really stepped up with the lighting. I'm debuting their brand new RGB lighting system at 75 Chrome Shop. Hope everybody can join us down there. I'll be at that show. I think it's 24th and 25th of this month, I believe it is. And we'll be down there debuting the new RGB trucks lighting. And Talladega stepped up as always, and they've always got my back. Good quality people, customer service on point, quality parts for working trucks.
Yeah, you got the April 24th, 25th, 26th for the 75 Chrome show down there in Wildwood going on. So everybody head on down there.
I'm going to make a suggestion too right now. Please don't wear shorts down there, Gary.
Why is that, Brandon?
You got some white legs, buddy.
Hey, I'm trying to get my tan on. All right.
Hey, you should have got going on that in Louisville, dude. We had the weather for it.
We did. It was nice. A couple of the days, it was really nice.
Oh, man. Every day but Friday morning was phenomenal. And even Friday afternoon, it cleared up, and it was just amazing. Best weather ever in Louisville at that show that I've been to as long as I've been going. So,
I'm going to have to agree with you on that one. It was definitely good this year for the weather. And I think the show went good for overall. I think there was a lot of big iron that showed up this year, a lot of quality trucks. Guys put a lot of work and their heart into them trucks, and
as they always do. Turnout. Yeah. Hey, Jeremy, Wednesday. Oh, great. You're being asked, where's Scooter? Is he with you?
Scooter's with me. He's here. He's in the truck. He's laying down here beside me. I got to get through this construction, and I'll show him.
All right,
but
good deal.
He's riding with me. We never leave home without my sidekick.
There he is. What up, Scoot?
There he is. He said, hey, man. Yep, he's my boy. So never leave home without him.
Man's best friend. There you go. There's the answer to your question, y'all. If you want to know where Scooter's at. Hey, I was telling Brandon about the time we were at 75, and this was a few years back. This was 21. So yeah, a few years back. Shannon got sick. I got COVID. Your golf cart died. I mean, my tripod broke. It was like every freaking thing that could go wrong seemed to try to go wrong that trip, man. It was not good.
It definitely did. It definitely did.
But
we're going to go again this year, and I'm going to show bobtail down there this year. And, I really like the 75 Chrome Shop. A lot of people, have their opinions, but I think they're great people. The Farkas family put on a good show down there. They always treat everybody very well, and they care about the drivers. They have a nice facility, nice clean showers for everybody, and it's a great place to put on a truck show.
I picked up on the environment, the culture down there at that shop, and that being in the condition I was in, I didn't know it. I didn't know I was sick. I just felt off. I found the game lounge, and it had a couch in there, man. And that's where I landed. I was out, and oh man. Anyway,
I remember that. I felt so bad for you because I didn't know you then, and you're just like sleeping in the chair there, and I'm like, do I go over and wake him up? Like maybe he's okay. I don't know.
You do a wellness check on me, Brandon.
Yeah, well,
right.
I made sure to stand there for a second. I made sure your chest was still rising, so I knew you were still breathing at least. So I'm like, well, he's still breathing. We should be fine.
Hey, it's a good time down there. You just got to watch them boys over at Taco Bell. They like to call the police on you. Okay?
Gary, are you still banned?
I was never banned. First off, it was Cindy Ward that got us in trouble over there. She went over there and got into it with the little boy in the window. Oh, yeah, Cindy definitely got us in trouble. Wesley and I, we were angels. We just stood there. We were like, where's our food? And Wesley, we look around the corner and Cindy's over there going off. Next thing I know, the cops come from everywhere. I just went ahead and got against the car, spread my legs. I was like, all right, go ahead, do whatever. Here we go.
Hey, the way I hear it, man, the thing that we just can't let you get involved in is bussing tables at Waffle House.
Yes. No, don't ever go to Waffle House with Gary. Everybody says not to let me take you to Bob Evans.
You pick
I
on
can
Waffle
tell you right
House,
now,
man.
Gary's is Waffle House, man. Like that guy is an animal in a Waffle House.
Let's just say we got heated at Waffle House a couple different times over the years, okay?
There needs to be a channel just dedicated to the Waffle House, after hours crowd, dude. I'm telling you, people would be all over that thing.
Oh, yes.
Gary would have been all over it that night. I'm telling you, that was one of the most priceless nights. Actually, every time where I think about it, almost every time I've been to a restaurant with Gary, it's been pretty priceless experience. So really, we should start filming our restaurants experiences, Gary. I think people would really be interested.
We like to have fun.
Get one of those Atmos cameras that you strap to even a GoPro, strap it to your chest or up on your hat and go, man. Look out.
John,
we're here.
She said that the table needed to be bussed before we could sit there. We sat and waited and waited and waited. She never bussed the table. I just picked up all the dishes and threw them in the garbage can. I said, now it's bust, and we all sat down.
We're talking, and I want everybody to know, we're talking like an entire table, cups, silverware, all the plates.
Everything. In the garbage.
As he takes his arm and just, gracefully puts it all in the trash can. Of course, every plate shatters. every cup shatters. You had the animated sound that went along with it. And then,
It was a good
if
time.
any of you have ever seen a sushi cook making sushi on one of those grills where they got like their little stuff going,
Oh yeah.
the cook back there comes around with 2 spatulas and he's ready to murder Gary with both spatulas. So that was equally interesting.
Yeah, he thought he was.
Was he yelling at you in a language you could understand, or was it foreign?
Oh no, it was a language the whole restaurant could understand. I told him tone it down, or we could have this conversation outside. He just didn't want to go past the counter. He was very tough behind the counter.
Yeah. Keyboard warrior, counter warrior. So like I said, everybody, don't try this at home. Gary Jones is a professional. So
that's right.
Yeah. Leave it to the professionals. Leave the driving to the professionals. Well, hey, let's get back on track just for a minute. Mid-America Truck Show this year, you came, you brought, you showed up. How was your week there, man? Did you see what was your feelings? What was your vibe?
Man, I thought it was great. Like I said, there was a lot of big iron there. I got to see a lot of friends, people I know, people I didn't know. I seen show for the first time. I was really impressed with a lot of iron that was there. I thought the judging went.
Uh-oh. Lost you. There you're back.
Well, no, or am I back? Yeah, sorry. I thought the judging went very well. A lot of people disagreed, but they always disagree every year. There's people that disagree with the way things go. And, I wouldn't want to be the one that would have to stand there and judge those trucks, because there was a lot of big iron in that lot.
No, man, there's 2 trucks in that competition this year that I wouldn't want no part of having any, or 3 actually judging. And I'm glad it wasn't me.
Yeah, no. And I think that the way it fell with J&L in the build off, I think that they all had beautiful trucks.
Yep.
Everybody that entered that did a great job. I think that J&L took it home. I mean, if you walked around, I think they took it home. But again, I don't want to disregard any of the other trucks in the build off, because they did a great job. They were all beautiful, beautiful trucks. Rethwich, they're nobody to play with. They always bring the A game to the table. Yep. And I think that J&L just had a few custom parts and custom touches that maybe gave them a few more points in the build off. And I think that they won it fair and square. And I think that the way it landed in limited combo and limited bobtail, I think that everybody that took home hardware did a good job in representing their equipment. And I think that they did a good job at judging. So at the end of the day, again, I wouldn't want to be the one to stand out there and do that. But now, Sands, those people, I have to say, they brought their display to the next level. And, for somebody to put the floor up and the surround around it with the watermelon lights, that was a beautiful display. Just so everybody's on the same page, that just speaks volumes of their craftsmanship, because you get 0 points for that. Just so you know.
Right.
None. That does not affect your score when you get your truck judged in any way other than you just want to represent your company and what you built in a classy manner.
I didn't ask, and I intend to at Trucking for Kids, because both the Sands brothers and Pickett Custom Trucks are bringing their presentations out to Trucking for Kids this year. But that presentation, I did make mention of it, and both of them created a stage for their trucks to be parked on and presented on. And Sands took it, next level. It just, how did they both end up having, and they weren't the only ones, right, that had that setup. I mean, it's like something went on somewhere that said, hey, this is how you do it now. Because, back in the old days, it was, and some of you may not know what a stanchion is, but it was stanchions with flowers and glitter on the ground and, and all that. And the tires, everybody gets the tires all blocked and staged and painted up. And I didn't see any of that. That's kind of like not happening, but everything else was, my gosh.
Pickett really brought it to the next level as well with that setup. I mean, that green Peterbilt and that set of hay wagons was, boy almighty. I mean, I bet it was a smile all the way from Arizona to Kentucky and back to Arizona riding down the road with that thing. I mean, that was next to none. I mean, you can't, the back window rolling up and down. Jeff Bartello, he did the same thing. I mean, I don't know who did it first. I'm not saying I don't know, but I'm just saying that feature in the truck was a pretty cool feature. Those boys out there always bring their A game as well up there in the, you know, I guess it'd be, what would that be? The Valley of California up there?
West Coast. It's West Coast, but Central California, Los Banos for Jeff, and then Arizona, you know, where Rod Pickett's at and got his group at. But it's all kind of the West Coast, you know, look. That 2-axle truck that Jeffrey, and that's Jeff's son, primarily was the builder on, is a total California cruiser now residing in Minnesota.
Oh, really? I didn't know that.
Yeah, that truck was on its way. It was in delivery, parked at Matt's competing, and then they left there and took it to its new owner in Minnesota.
Oh, okay. Yeah, they, you know, I like Jeff a lot and his son. They're great people, and I've known them a long, long time, and they're just great, caring people that are a good, solid person to represent the industry, you know, and they're always bringing their A game when they're building trucks. Pickett as well. I mean, you don't get nothing better than what they're doing out there. So, you know, guys that are just coming into it, just keep your eyes on them, because you're going to see lots of custom stuff. You get ideas and, you know, bring some of them home and do some of it yourself. So
that's how it is, man. I mean, I go back to early 2000s, my first time at Mid-America, and I looked around and saw what was going on. I'm like, you know, there was no camera phones back then, incidentally. So it all had to go up here, or you had to actually carry a camera around and take pictures, right?
That's right. Absolutely. You know, and I have to do a shout out. Oh, go ahead, Brandon. Were you talking? I'm sorry, buddy.
No, I was laughing. No, it's fine. I wasn't talking. You're good. Go for it.
No, I want to do a shout out again for trucks and Talladega, because as I walked through that show, I have to say there was a lot of people that had a lot of their products on the truck. I mean, those two companies have really stepped up their game in the industry. Trucks has came a long way since they started. Their lighting game is top notch these days. And I'll bet you 50% of the trucks on that lot had Trucks accessory lighting going on it. You know what I mean? And Talladega, I mean, shoot, they're up there. I mean, I remember when WTI was the big thing and all them other companies out there were, and Talladega's really stepped up their game with their boltless or their, you know, boltless brackets. They're not boltless, but you know what I mean? Hidden brackets and
blind
all that stuff.
On the fenders,
blind mounts and all the stuff they're doing now. They've really stepped up their game. And, you know, New Testament, Philip Couch, he brought it home, man. In the working class, he brought Best of Show in his class, and he's repping Talladega all the way around that truck. And it just goes to show the products are quality and they're durable for working. And Tammy and all the people over there, all you got to do is reach out to Tammy and Tony, and they'll get you an appointment. And now they do that Affirm, I think it's called, or something like that. And if a guy, you know, because a lot of these guys, you know, are struggle with the fuel prices the way they are, but they still want to keep their truck nice. Now they offer financing. So you go over there, you do a quick credit check, and they'll get you a set of fenders, and you can make payments on them, or, you know, and it's just another way that they're trying to service everybody equally in the industry. You know what I mean? Where, you know, some guys can buy 5 sets at once, and some guys don't do as well, and they still want to have a nice ride. So they're just trying to cater to everybody on the spectrum, you know.
You know, I want to give a shout out to Philip Couch and his truck. This was featured in our February 2026 edition. And I mean, and I apologize again to a lot of you out there that were at the show and I didn't get a chance to come over and talk to you, let alone, you know, get you on the camera and interview you and do what we do. Only so many hours in the day and so many trucks we could fit into it. But, man, he did great. He took home some hardware, and that truck represented very well. And if you guys want more on this, go into the February edition and check it out. He's in there, and a great story that Casey Aislinger put together for everybody to check out and read. And on point, there are those Talladega fenders on there and more on that truck. Just a real nice looking rig and very nicely done, and obviously very well received at Mid America this year. So congratulations,
Absolutely.
Philip. Wasn't any slight on our part, just didn't make it. In fact, I really was bummed out because I didn't have time to get to any of those trucks on that front row up there. It was just not doable.
Well, Philip and them boys really brought their A game this year. His son worked really hard on the engine and tying the engine into the rest of the theme of the truck. And that's the best I've seen it look. I mean, they pulled out all the stops. And I told them when they first parked that truck up there, when I stopped by, I said, y'all are going to do good this year. I mean, yeah. I've been going to that show for a lot of years, and I know what it takes to bring home a #1 spot. And they definitely brought their A game.
Well, you don't see too many yellow Detroits, so
no, you don't.
It was incognito.
And they did a great job on the interior, tying that truck together. I mean, the motor, the interior, they really stepped up their game to bring the theme from the front to the back of that truck. Yeah. And he's definitely keeping the old Freightliners alive these days. So there's not a lot of them left that'll do that. You know what I mean? So
I hear you, man. I hear you. Well, like I said, I appreciate, you bringing that to mind, because I did feel bad that we didn't get a chance to get up there and talk to a lot of those guys on the front row. And believe me, guys, we just couldn't get there. I wish there was two of me and I could, do more, but it was something to get done what we got done. And our deal was full every day. And Gary knows we were over there talking to him at one point. And as it happens, I'm there at your truck, and I end up talking to 3 other guys, looking at 3 other trucks, just because it's like I'm here and these are nice looking rigs and I want to capture them. And so I did. So, and by the way, everybody, I will be reposting the interviews from Mid America, the recorded version that I have on the studio. So if there's any breakup in audio or anything that was in the live stream, that's all removed from the recorded version, because it's a direct recorded version from the interview. And we'll be reposting those on Facebook, because Facebook takes down what we do live in 30 days anyway. So it'll be gone, but we'll have new versions up there for everybody. Nice, clean audio and everything.
I did have some people reach out and say that it was broke up on our interview. So
that's
cool.
Yeah, it was. and it was what I pinned it down to, and I didn't know this at the time. That spot had issues with signal, and that happens sometimes. Yep. Just the way
I made fun of you 2 or 3 times in that interview. I need people to hear these jokes.
Yeah, right.
Maybe that was on purpose, is why that broke up, Gary. Did you ever think about that?
I'm just kidding with you, John. You know I love you, buddy. What did you think of Cody McCandless's build Dark Horse this year? He was up there next to LaGoya, the other one he built, top-notch truck, that Black Pete with the ghost stripes.
Oh, you know what? I did see that truck, and we were trying to pick up the ghost detail on it, and I'll tell you, it was ghost, because I couldn't see it. I mean, literally in the light that we were looking at it, couldn't pick it up. And I tried to with my eyes, and I tried to with the camera, and it wasn't happening. But yeah, nice ride.
Definitely a nice ride. I was really impressed with that. He built that for Mr. Josh Baker out of Kansas City there, and it's a beautiful truck. It's just simple and clean. You know what I mean? And one-off wheels. If you paid attention at all, the wheels were one-off. I mean, those were custom built 24s. Beautiful, beautiful truck. So, as always, those guys over there, Cody always brings his A game to the table. He's one of the best builders in the business, if you ask me. So that's just my opinion again.
Here's the thing, and I said this during the show many times. If you're there at that show on that lot, whether you're really there to compete or you're just there to be there and tell your story, you've got something special going on. And there's some trucks out there that, I mean, there was one over there by, I think it wasn't by your truck. It was over by Evan and his guys. And it was an old yellow 359. I think it was a 65 or no, 85. I don't remember. God, it's the blur. But anyways, you guys, I got a video of the truck, and it was that butternut truck.
Oh,
you guys...
yeah, that is what's that boy's name at Fitzgerald?
Yep.
I can't think of his name right now. I'm so sorry.
I
know him.
Right?
Brian. Is it Brian?
Well, the truck is owned by the guys that are putting on a show that's coming up, and I'll go back through the video and bring it up. But here's the deal. This is an old barn find that they put together and threw it out there and did a few things to it and brought it to Mid-America. Well, a lot of people walk by, huh?
Oh, and it's beautiful. I mean, I love that they left it alone and didn't
molest it.
You know what I mean?
A lot of people are going by it and going, why is that here? Well, here's the thing, man. You got to hear the story. And that's part of the deal.
Did you guys see the old two-stroker, the 4300 that the guy pretty much pulled out of the weeds and drove it down there to the show? It had a V12 Detroit in it. Did you guys see that one?
I did not. Where was that parked at?
So I think he put it in the building. He's got a pretty good sized YouTube following because he does the uphill drag racing and all that up there in Ottawa.
Right.
And he drove it from Ohio down there to the show like 4 hours, and they literally like a couple days for the show drug it out of the weeds, did nothing to it, and this truck was rough. Basically got it running and drove it to the show, and I thought that was awesome. I mean, me personally, and the story behind the truck was great too, and just the fact that it was a V12 Detroit at 4300, that makes it even more interesting. So,
well,
I love stuff like that. I mean, drag them out.
Let's not get out of control with your Detroit stuff, Brandon. Come on now.
Hey, Gary.
Hey,
you wasn't all that long ago. You were driving around a little pack car, so.
I'm in it right now, heavy hauling.
Oh,
that's
you're
what's funny.
Again, yeah.
Yes, everybody gives me crap. They're like, "Why aren't you driving your big old Peterbilt?" Well, fuel's $6.30 a gallon, and I get 8 miles to the gallon with this little girl, and it does a great job. And I'm still in it right now. I got a 455 pack car with a 12-speed automatic, and I'm toting 130,000 pounds, and I was 182,000 last week with it. Does a great job. So.
Well,
I will drive right over top of your Detroit.
And see, that's the sad part, Gary, is you are exactly right, because you know what? Mine's sitting right now because I can't even afford to drive it anyways because it gets like negative 4 miles a gallon. So,
it's all in what you like. We could have this battle all day long. You know the deal.
Oh, yeah.
It's whatever you like. Everybody likes a different thing. And, I'm a Cummins guy myself. I like cats too. I've never been a fan of a Detroit. I had a Detroit when I was about 19 years old, and I had to rebuild it 3 times in a year. I just got a bad one, you know what I mean, back then. And it was at a Detroit shop most of its life, and I finally sold the truck, and I ran from anything that had a Detroit from that day forward. So, they're probably not a bad engine. It just didn't work out for me back then.
Well, the old saying, excessive speed and overload, that'll do it.
I don't know about all that, man.
I'll tell you what, I never drove or had one with a Series 60 in it, but I did have an old 8V92 Silver 92, and it was an electronic version. It was a California specific engine, 450 horsepower, built for a fire engine, and it was in my Mac 1980 Mac Superliner. And by the time that thing made it into the shop for a rebuild, when they tore it down, they're like, we have no idea how this thing still ran because it had no rings left in it. I mean, it was done. And I know that because I was pouring like 2 gallons of oil a day into this thing to keep it running. And maybe more.
It would leak a gallon out too. So.
Well, there's that. Okay. And that is a whole nother story. These guys had me fitted with one of those capture tanks that they put on the buses, and so you'd have to get under and drain that thing every so often, right? Because the slobber tubes, as we called them, would all that oil would, yeah, anyway, you guys know. So a lot of the newer guys that are listening to this, they're going, oh, what's he talking about? Because yeah, that ain't a thing no more, man. They
so
won't
I
be.
just this week I did that to that N14 in that truck I bought from Paul Rissler. I put a catch can on the back of it, and we put a hose back into the block. So the blow by comes out, but the hose actually puts the oil, puts it through a filter, and the oil goes back into the block on that N14 because you know they like to slobber.
So basically, instead of rebuilding it, we're talking that's just a redneck rebuild. Is that what's going on here?
Yep.
Hey, they offer it, we buy it. You know the deal.
That's pretty much. I get it.
And Gary's a white truck, so he can't be having all that oil all over that thing.
That's right. That's exactly right. I got her dialed in. I just got it back yesterday. Had a few little things fixed on the engine side of things. And like I said, we're getting ready for 75. We're going to go down there, show up, show out, show off them trucks, lights. Everybody's got to stop by and see it. It's going to be the price point of $2 to $3 more per light, but the lights are RGB and they can literally turn any of your lights, cab lights, tail lights, button lights, anything you buy can go 60,000 colors, any color on the spectrum. It's ridiculous. So, and it's pretty cool the way it works. They've got a control box in the truck, and you can have up to 8 zones. So you can do like your T-bar a zone, your cab lights a zone, your bumpers a zone, your cowl panels a zone, and you can make them chase each other. You can make each zone strobe different colors. So it's a pretty neat setup, and it's very affordable for working guys. So
they haven't gotten to the point where they have an app yet on your phone that you can control these yet?
They do. You can have the controller for the control box in your truck. As long as your control box on your truck is on, you have an app on your phone and you can do everything via your phone.
There you go. That's where it's at, man.
Awesome.
Yeah. Well, and hey, I want to say thanks to Trucks in Talladega for partnering up with us for Mid-America this year and helping us to bring the coverage to you guys so you could watch what was going on there and share that with you. One of the interviews, of course, with Gary there and his new ride that he brought along and showed at Louisville. Appreciate them for doing that. We look forward to many more good things come in the near future with both Talladega and Trucks. So, all right, man, we're winding up to the top of the hour. Gary, thanks for taking the time to join us again. Always appreciate your time and your help, and you stay safe out there. And everybody, listen, man, there's a good guy right there on the show with us, and y'all take a note and a page out of that book and say howdy to him. Get him on the social media there and show him some love, right?
Well, I sure appreciate it, everybody. And y'all remember, be cool on your stool. We'll see you out there on the road. Make sure you holler. Be safe.
All right. Yep. All right,
Gary.
All right, Gary Jones there, everybody. Appreciate Gary taking the time out here, literally on the road, man. That's there you go. There's the rolling interview right there.
Yep.
That's how we do it.
Interview.
That's how we do it, man. Rolling interview. I love it. Way to go, Gary. All right, man. Listen, we ran it to the top. I'm going to take off here and get ready. We got this afternoon. We have our cover feature show today. Going to have Oscar Velasquez and all his brothers and everybody on the show for our cover feature edition of Studio 10-4 Live, the weekly update. Also, of course, promoting Trucking for Kids. A lot going on there. If you haven't gotten registered, do so. Get that done. First 200 gets a bonus bucket. Once they're gone, they're gone. So get it done. Get registered. We want to see everybody out. And, of course, Trucking for Kids coming up first weekend of May. And just to give the exact dates here, I want to make sure I do that. May 2nd and 3rd. So that's Saturday and Sunday. Friday is a load-in day, but definitely want to be there and parked by Saturday. We're going to light the lot Saturday night, and then it's truck racing and show and shine all day on Sunday. So look forward to seeing you at Famoso Drag Strip, Bakersfield, California. All right, everybody. Brandon, thanks, buddy. And hope good things come your way soon.
Absolutely.
All right.
Absolutely.
We'll talk soon, okay?
Yep, we'll see you. Have a good one.
All right. All right, everybody. As I said, we're out. And incidentally, you know, that opening music deal that I've been doing, it's kind of growing on me a little bit. So I don't know what I'm going to do yet, but we'll see what happens. All right, y'all, take it easy. JT here on the side till this afternoon, 5 o'clock Pacific time for Studio 10-4 Live, the weekly update, 10-4 magazine cover feature show for April 2026. We'll see you then.